to fire up the champagne, and we're about to fire up the second 125 and juniors race of the day. Balloted for grid positions. This time it's Chris Loughton on the front row of the grid from John Carroll, Roger Wilson, Jenny Tinmouth. Scott Rogers on his own on row 2, and finally the getaway. Christian Elkin was a long way back, so too was James Ford. And 10 seconds later, they'll let the juniors out. Cal Crutchlow going off well, so too was 35 Joe Dickinson. Well, here comes Elkin from the back of the grid up into second place behind 48 Alan Wilson on a faller. That's 53 Les Kappa, dropping it in style, perfectly okay. Pride hurt more than body. Elkin now out in front. And it's Alan Wilson in second place, and Barry Walmsley going round the outside of him. James Ford in fourth place. Now where's it going to be for the juniors? That's Joe Dickinson and Cal Crutchlow going well. And the rest of the juniors charging on. Excellent to see these youngsters being allowed to let loose very early on in their careers. Christian Elkin, the race leader from Walmsley, then Aaron Wilson, James Ford, then Roger Wilson, Scott Rogers, Chris Loughton, John Carroll, Gary Volans, Jenny Tinmouth and Roger Johns. Good scrap going on there. Elkin, the race leader. Barry Walmsley in second place. And there goes James Ford hard on the brakes, going up into third spot. A real gaggle of activity. Fine scrap going on there. And here's Cal Crutchlow and Joe Dickinson. Behind him is number 6 Dan Ray, then 40 Sean Hull and 23 Paul Veazey from the juniors. At the hairpin, Christian Elkin continuing to show his domination of this class. Not surprisingly, really. Very, very good rider. And as I mentioned earlier, Nick Carpenter believes that he's going to go on to great things indeed. And a fair old scrap going on. Number 7, Chris Loughton, right in the middle of the action. Some good battles all the way down. And look at this, Cal Crutchlow beginning to get amongst the 125 men. Cal, his father Derek, is a competent racer from the past. And Christian Elkin having to change his line there because one of the juniors going through. That was passing Tim Kappa. 24 K Hawthorne there going well. Here's the 125s going at it. Chris Loughton at the back of that group. Number 10 Roger Johns. And number 16 Tim Kappa, one of the juniors. He's had a good day so far, but he's about to be caught, I think, by the flying Christian Elkin. Here comes the race leader. Very, very quick, very stylish. Walmsley still second, and James Ford third. Elkin round paddock. And he's still trying as hard as he was doing on the opening lap. Oh, this is a good scrap going on. That's Volans, Carol Wilson and Chris Loughton. There's Christian Elkin. And Barry Walmsley diving underneath Tim Kappa, putting him a lap back. Elkin at the hairpin again. Elkin really in a class of his own. Barry Walmsley has other things on his mind. He wanted to win the Darlingmore 125 Championship. He's done that. There's the third place man, James Ford. There's Scott Rogers. Well, he's a stylish rider. New bike, new circuit. Good to see him going well. There's a 4-rider battle going well, and one of the juniors getting a bit overexcited with it. That was Volans, Carroll, Wilson and Loughton. And then number 10, Roger Jones. Race leader, Christian Elkin. You can see the advantage he's got now over Barry Walmsley. Barry Walmsley going to run that 250 next year, so it's nice for him to go out on a winning note, taking the Darley title. There is Barry Walmsley, getting a bit big now for the 125s, wanting to move on. There's Scott Rogers. He's in fourth place, beginning to get more and more comfortable on the new motorcycle. Christian Elkin out in front. Sean Hull a little bit further back. The juniors. There's Barry Walmsley. Here's James Ford, number 2. Now, can James Ford catch Walmsley and pass him? Tall order. Scott Rogers in 4th place. And the hands go up. It would seem as though the race has been stopped. Red flag, yeah, there's been an incident. So the race has been cut short. Well, it's unfortunate, but I don't think any doubt about the final outcome. Christian Elkin in a class of his own. Confirmation, the result of the second 125 race cut to 6 laps. Elkin the winner, Barry Walmsley 2nd, James Ford 3rd, Scott Rogers, delighted to see him 4th, Gary Bolans, then John Carroll, Aaron Wilson, Chris Lowton. That was a good battle throughout the race. Roger Jones and Tim Capper, the first of the juniors. Good ride from him. Well done, Tim. And the rest of the juniors, 2nd home Carl Crutchlow, 3rd Dan Ray, and 4th Joe Dickinson. Well, let's leave the final word on the 1999 Stars at Darley